Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn a new topic that is called tightly coupled architect and loosely coupled architect. In last class we have learned about full stack web development, MERN full stack web development. In that we have learned about what are the technologies used for the development of MERN full stack web development. In that we have also learned about the technologies which are used in the front end, and we also use the technologies which are used in the back end, and we have also learned about the technologies which are used in the database. Okay, after that now we have a brief idea about what is MERN course. Generally for building of an website, what are the different types of technologies will be used, we have a brief idea. Okay, now if we really want to start to build an web application, before starting to build an web application, what is required, what is needed, for example, see here, if we want to build any website, we need to know the architect of the website. For example, if we are going to build any house, we will go and directly build the house? No. Before building the house, what we'll do, we'll take a plan. We will draw and plan, when we will sketch a plan so that it will be easy for us to build the house. Similarly, while we building the website, what will we do? No, we will also create an architect for this web application so that it will be easy for us to build the web application in the future or in further. Therefore, while coming to building of a web application, there are two types of architects generally used for the building of web applications, such as loosely typed architect and tightly coupled architect. Loosely coupled architect and tightly coupled architect. Okay, you have an idea about architect now? Is nothing but a design. Before starting any website or any house, what we'll do, we'll design it so that we'll get an easy idea to implement it further. So while developing an website, there are two types of architects. With the help of two types of architects, we can easily develop an application, that is tightly coupled architect and loosely coupled architect. Okay, what is this tightly coupled architect and what is this loosely coupled architect? We'll see here. I will give an explanation so that you can easily understand. For example, see here, we are going to build one application, web application. Yes or no? If we are going to build one application, what we needed yesterday, we have learned now about what is actually needed for building a web application. We need to build the front end. Again, we should build the back end. Again, we should build the database. Yes or no? Front end, back end, and database. We want front end, we should build back end, and we should build database also. This is the generally these are the three parts of a web application, so that we can easily build a web application. What is this? This is front end, this is back end, this is back end, and this is database. This is database. Similarly, see here, we want in the front end, we want front end, we want back end, and also we want database. Yes or no? While building an application, what we want front end, we should build back end, and we should also build database. For example, we are building a website, and we thought of building a website with tightly coupled architect. Now only we have learned that there are two types of architects for building a website, that is tightly coupled architect and loosely coupled architect. Oh sorry, I have drawn a little bit here wrong. Okay, I have drawn both the same. Sorry. While building the website, what we should build first? We should build front end, then we should build back end, and we should also build database. Yes or no? We needed these three. We need front end, we need back end, and we need database. For example, we are building a website, and we thought of building the website with tightly coupled architect. Okay, this is the tightly coupled architect. This is the diagram. In this tightly coupled architect, what will happen, we will build the front end part, we will build the back end part, and we will also build the database part in same page. We will build in same page. Yes or no? Front end. Generally for the development of a website, we need front end, we need back end, and also we need database. We should build these three. While building a website, if we are building front end and back end and database in single page, then that is called as a tightly coupled architect. While coming, what is a loosely coupled architect? Loosely coupled architect is nothing but we are building front end in some other file, we are building back end in some another file, and we are building database in some another file. And these files are interconnected with APIs. They are connected with APIs, and this is connected with drives. Backend and database are connected with drives. Then this is called as a loosely coupled architect, and this is called as a tightly coupled architect. What is the tightly coupled architect? Tightly coupled architect is nothing but the front end, back end, and database are these three are built on the same page. These three are built on single page, and they are hosted on the same platform. These three are hosted on the same machine. They are called as a tightly coupled architect. While coming to loosely coupled architect, front end, back end, and database they are not hosted on the same machine. They are hosted on different systems. They are hosted on the different files, but they are interconnected with APIs and drives. Now you have got an idea about loosely coupled architect and tightly coupled architect. Okay, but nowadays we are not using this loosely coupled architect. If we want to build any website, we are definitely using loosely coupled architect. We are not using this tightly coupled architect. Why? Because this tightly coupled architect is poor performance. Poor performance why it is in poor performance? If, for example, if you want to make changes in the back end, if you want to make changes in the backend in tightly coupled architect, then definitely you should make changes in the front end also and database also, which is really time consumption. Yes or no? It is a really time consumption. It is also a very tough job. Yes or no? That's why we are not using this tightly coupled architect. While coming to, if you want to make any changes in loosely coupled architect, and if you are making changes in the backend, then there is no need of changing in front end also and database also. You are getting my point? These here front end, back end, database, they are interconnected, but they are not depending on each other. While coming to this tightly coupled architect, here the front end, back end, and database they are connected and they are depending on each other. Means if any changes are made in front end, then automatically you should make a change in back end also and database also. While coming to loosely coupled architect, if you are making changes in the front end, then there is no need to make change in the back end and database. Understood? And we'll see here. First, what is a tightly coupled architect and what is a loosely coupled architect? This tightly coupled architect is nothing but a single system, has responsibility of storing, processing, and serving the data. What is this storing, processing, and serving data? This is tightly coupled architect. For example, see here, this is a tightly coupled architect. Here, storing data. Here, storing data is done in database, and processing data. Processing data is done in backend, and serving data is done in front end. Means here front end is serving the data to the user, it is serving the data to the client. Yes or no? Means they are tightly interconnected. Responsibility of storing data, processing, and serving the data. Single system has a responsibility. Means here serving data, here processing data, all are done in only by the single system. While coming to this loosely coupled architect, what happens, here storing data, processing data, and serving data, responsibilities are distributed in the system. Means these all functions, these all responsibilities are distributed. These all responsibilities. See here, storing data, database, serving data, backend, and serving data, backend, and processing data backend, and serving data front end. These three responsibilities are distributed. Means these three responsibilities are not done by single machine. They are distributed. Understood? Storing data is this job is given to database, serving data is given to backend, and processing data is given to front end. Means here the duties are distributed. While coming to here tightly coupled architect, what will happen, here the duties are not distributed. What happens, they are interconnected to each other. This whole process, this whole responsibilities are done on single page. Yes or no? Next, one system goes, everything goes down. Means one system goes, everything goes down means if there is any fault in this tightly coupled architect, then the whole system crashes, then the whole system collapse. For example, if there is error in the front end, then automatically this backend and database, they don't work but at the same time this whole website, this whole system gets crashed, get collapsed, which is really a very big problem. While coming to here, loosely coupled architect, complete system is not impacted on failure. Complete system is not impacted on the failure. For example, in this loosely coupled architect, for example, we have a error here in backend, but this error does not affect the front end and database. It shows the error in front end, shows error that there is error in the backend, but the whole system does not collapse. But the whole system does not collapse on the loosely coupled architect. Means there is a lot of difference between the crashing and not working. But total project won't collapse. Not working and collapsing are two different things. Understood? Next, coming to changes impact rework on all system. Means if you want to make changes in the front end or back end and database, then automatically you should make the changes in different also. Means for example, if you want to make changes in the database, then you should make the changes in the back end and front end also, because they are dependent on each other. While coming to loosely coupled architect, rework requires only an impacted system. Means if you are making changes in the loosely coupled in the back end, then there is no need of changing in front end and database. They are not dependent on each other. Yes or no? Which is really a good thing. Separate system to be created for new clients. If you want to make this use this website to other clients, then you should again build a separate website, separate system. Separate system should be created for the clients. But here same system can serve multiple clients. But here in loosely coupled, same website or the same system which is created can serve the multiple clients. These are the main differences between the loosely coupled and tightly coupled architect. I hope you understood. You can see here the architect of a loosely coupled architect and tightly coupled architect. This is the loosely coupled architect and this is the tightly coupled architect. See here loosely coupled architect. In loosely coupled architect, here user interface is nothing but the front end and business logic backend and data as a seller and the layer and the database. what these three are not depending on each other, but they are interconnected with each other. While coming to tightly coupled architect, here user interface and business logic, data access layer and database, they are interconnected to each other. They are dependent on each other. Means these are created on one single system. You can see here they are connected on the single system. While coming to loosely connected, they are connected on different files. User interface is connected in different file, and backend and front end and database also connected in different files, but they are interconnected with the APIs. Yes or no? But here the whole process, front end, backend and database are connected on the single page, which is really a very drawback. While coming to here, this is the architect of a MERN full stack. By seeing this, you can easily understand. See, this is the client machine. This is nothing but the client side, which is in front end. This is a back end. And this is called a MongoDB, is nothing but to store data. This is the database. Today we have learned about the front end. Front end is nothing but the person who is using at the front end. Means who is working on the browser, who is using the browser. The front end generally works on the browser. In our browser, we are using ReactJS. Yesterday we have learned. And we are creating a web application. We are creating one application. In the backend, what we are doing, yesterday we told that we are using NodeJS. Why we are using NodeJS? NodeJS is a runtime environment for JavaScript. In that NodeJS, we have learned that we are using one library that is called as an Express. Why we are using Express? Because it is very fast. And we are creating APIs with the help of the ExpressJS. And we are app. App is nothing but application which we are designing on the front end, and this front end application is we are creating, and in the back end we are API we are creating. API is nothing but application programming interface we are connecting. These two this client's machine and the back end. Client machine is nothing but a front end, and the back end we are connecting through APIs. API is nothing but application programming interface. And the back end we have learned about database. Yeah, why we are using database? We are using database to store the data. Okay, how we are connecting this database to the backend? We are connecting this database, I mean MongoDB. We are using MongoDB in the backend. Yesterday we have learned MongoDB with the driver. What is this driver? The main function of the driver is nothing but which it is an application used to connect the backend and the database. That is called as a driver. This MongoDB directly, once we download it, install it, with it itself will get the driver. This driver, the main function of this driver is connects the backend and the MongoDB. This is how our MERN full stack web development functions or works. How generally we have front end, we have back end, and we have database. In front end, we will be building application with the help of ReactJS, and it will be working on the browser. Generally, front end is worked on the browser, and it is used by the client side. Client side. And it is called a front end. It is also called as a client machine. While coming to backend, which is not visible, the whole logic which is going on here is done by backend, and this Node.js is used to create a server, and also it is a runtime environment for our JavaScript. In this Node.js, we are using a library ExpressJS. Why we are using here ExpressJS? So that we can create an API, that is called application programming interface, and this app is nothing but application. With the help of this app, we are interconnecting this front end and back end. While coming to database, we are connecting this database and the back end with the help of drivers. Drivers is nothing but used to connect the backend and the database. There are different types of drivers. For our MongoDB, we are using MongoDB driver. Now you have understood about the different types of architects. Generally, there are two types of architects. One is tightly coupled architect and loosely coupled architect. But nowadays we are using loosely coupled architect. We are not using this tightly coupled architect, because if we want to make changes in this loosely coupled document, then we can easily make, because they are not interconnected to these are not interconnected to each other. While coming to this backend, tightly coupled architect, if you want to make changes in this tightly coupled architect, then they are it is very tough. If you want to make changes in the front end, then definitely you should make changes in the backend and database, because they are independent to each other and they are hosted on the same page and they are hosted on the same machine. While coming to this loosely coupled, they are hosted on different files, front end, back end, database, but they are interconnected with APIs and drivers. And here this loosely coupled architect is very fast, while coming to this is very slow. Tightly coupled architect is also very slow, and if there is any error occurs in this loosely coupled architect, then it does not affect all the front end and database. For example, there is a fault in this backend, does not affect the front end and database. It shows there is error, but the whole website does not get collapsed. Whole project does not get collapsed. While coming to this tightly coupled architect, if there is a error or any fault in this front end or back end, back end or front end, then it affects the remaining also, and here the whole website gets collapsed. Hope you have understood about the difference between the tightly coupled architect and loosely coupled architect, and generally why we are using this loosely coupled architect. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe, and do share with your friends. Thanks for watching.